The bearded manager then held a meeting, announcing that those deemed unnecessary would be laid off. He demanded that Walter produce negative number 25, leaving Walter no choice but to lie, claiming it was still in processing. After the meeting, Walter mustered the courage to speak to Cheryl, hoping to glean some clues about Sean, with whom she had more frequent contact. But Sean was an elusive figure, without a phone and a constantly shifting address. Still, Cheryl was more than willing to help by inquiring with the colleague responsible for issuing checks to Sean. At that moment, the printed proof from the colleague arrived. Ultimately, only 3 negatives from that film roll would be printed. These clues, perhaps, could help Walter locate Sean. Later that afternoon, Cheryl found Walter poring over the photos, 3 images in total, one of a thumbs up, one of a water surface, and one fragment that defied identification. While Cheryl chatted with him cheerfully, Walter appeared awkward, which made Cheryl feel somewhat embarrassed. She eventually excused herself, saying she needed to return and secure her job. Watching her depart, Walter drifted back into his daydream. He called out to Cheryl and showed her a breathtaking sculpture.
Walter, it's amazing! Walter!
Compared to Walter, Cheryl was far more proactive, assuring him that if any colleague had news about Sean, she would let him know immediately. Walter was also troubled by his mother's move. His father's piano couldn't be moved into the new house. In order to accommodate the piano, he had no choice but to spend a fortune renting a larger house. His sister gave him a Stretch Armstrong toy, a childhood favorite of theirs. Among the packed luggage, his sister discovered a travel backpack, and Walter found the travel journal his father had given him, yet it remained blank to this day. He had once been a man of character, a handsome, mohawk-sporting skateboarding champion. But ever since his father passed away, he had taken on family responsibilities, and his spirit became constrained, lost amid the countless jobs he had cycled through. A new clue was discovered by a colleague at work, and Walter hurried back. In a new photograph, a string of text appeared. It depicted an ocean, and the text was the name of a ship. Cheryl happened to run into Walter, and she eagerly helped him look up the ship's name. Unfortunately, she had to go pick up her child, so she invited him to join her, and gradually, the two grew closer. Walter also learned that Cheryl had recently divorced and was currently in a period of emotional vacancy. They went to the park. Cheryl was inquiring with colleagues about Sean's whereabouts, while Walter was showcasing his skilled skateboarding tricks to her son. However, Cheryl missed his impressive displays on several occasions. Cheryl's son was quite surprised. Walter had managed to win him over. Meanwhile, Cheryl received a reply from a colleague. A tax form had recently been sent to 2 locations, one in Princeton and the other in Greenland, and the ship name search result turned out to be from Greenland. At that moment, Cheryl's ex-husband called again. Watching her retreating figure, Walter slipped back into his daydream, imagining Cheryl falling into his arms and their relationship unfolding into a fantastical ending reminiscent of the curious case of Benjamin Button.
Walter! Walter!
Amid Cheryl's repeated calls, Walter finally snapped back to reality. To his surprise, Cheryl even encouraged him, saying that the bearded manager's ramblings about Major Tom were pure nonsense.
That song is about courage and going into the unknown. It's a cool song.
And her words gave Walter immense courage. Returning to the office, the bearded manager stopped him and insisted that Walter must hand over the missing negative at their next meeting. Walter had no choice but to agree. As for the whereabouts of negative number 25, no one knew. It was believed by his colleagues that the negative had never been sent at all, and Sean's image in the photograph seemed to be guiding him. Thus, Walter finally resolved to embark on a quest to find the missing negative. The moment he set out, the company's motto began to appear everywhere. To see the world, things dangerous to come to see behind walls, to draw closer, to find each other and to feel. That is the purpose of life. As the plane reached its destination, the view outside suddenly brightened his spirits.